Say yanko yanima na yako yanima Ghana water for ene de yesi ya den krato kese na ebremu yo abayu aso no kama yo da ye screen isu yo patche se Ghana water for money na nini ye kra money na nini ye sanse ono kra ni fie ono ne kunu ene ne manya me aya o madom o mabaga na ha se o ma betina ha kakra no mo pipe mu no emu hwese insuo ba kokura mpo ni wa form pipe mu da for a period of months no insuo ma da omo de bi omo to nsuo fi abontina da bi omo da so de ya omo kwhia obi de kokoko eneja obey kwaje so me bi gate yi kwhia ya abrantie bi si Ghana Water Company no oba ye no ne nkrato ode ba ne se oba betwa nsuo ni mu esan se omo de ka ana ma mi se na ya de ka sen esan se mentias ye nsuo yi emma wo de ye nkotie ono anenu masem ya ba me chire mu yie ama ate ase na follow the story for us.
Ghana Water Authority, you should be ashamed of yourself. So when an employee of the water company comes around this morning, very aggressive in his delivery, telling us he needs to disconnect our water. My husband tries to explain to him, hey, we haven't had water since we've lived here. In fact, if we don't get water delivered, that means we wouldn't have running water. Oh, he's refusing to hear anything. We have an outstanding balance and he's come to disconnect. Y'all, please help me understand. How exactly can you have an outstanding balance on something that you've never used? Instead of him coming here with the intent to solve the issue, he came ready for war. Maybe this approach would have been a little bit better. Hi, the purpose of my visit today is I have a notice to disconnect. You listen to the issue of your customer. Then your response should be, I apologize, this inconvenience has been your reality. Let me schedule a technician to come out right away to see the source of the issue. That would have been a better approach. Not coming up in somebody's space acting like you ain't got no sense. Refusing to hear anything anybody gotta say like we done took your paycheck and ran away with it. Coming to disconnect a water line that's already dried up like a raisin is diabolical to me. So yeah, he just disconnected a water supply that was never supplying to begin with. Let's talk about it.
Ebusi anunti obeye pachire se omo pipe mu de sin Sahara Desert. Enzo ba kukura mfa pipe mu. Na eba ne sen na Ghana Water Company mu kra nso na ma na afede ye nkwati a enzo na emma no omo de ka enti mu san ba betwa omo pipe mu na obi say na eba ne sen na enzo emma no ye de ka ye kwade ka sen chire mi mu na menti ase ana pache so ofre ni kunu kura se na be ani kunu nso eba be cheche asem ni mu acha abante na manate ase se enzo no so man to bi emfi polytank mu na che se the whole time ni nyina omuni nso ba kokura mpo den ewo fie nti ebe ya nko munye hu bibi mom abrante ne nso se da ono de se wa ba se oba betwa nsuo mu ne san so mo de ka ne de no anso na oba ba ye nti osan ba betwa nsuo na se bi emma no mu na oba ne pache se nyama bi o ha ye nye ne ye ye nye ne sa se ye sua customer care services oba ye na nka ubebisa mu na nka ye ka kire wo se o nsuo ne ma no na waka say ene me sorry me nim say sa na koso wa ha say nti ebe ya ne nka ma me nko kan kire mpanifo ne yenhwe se ne ebetumi a service situation na ma o na nso ono de se wanye ne sa o on de ase buko mbanku no oba say yesi metwa nso mu nti nso mu ana metwa na nso na ma no twa mu na afede o san call ye nti no eno any reality a e koso no opa che say da bi nyama bi wo hono ma say customer care services bi wo hono ma yetumi sua ne ye de mankofo ne ye ne omo kasa ye na this particular situation no, do you think that a lot of people are experiencing that in Ghana?
A lot of people are experiencing it. I mean, it's so sad, especially you used to the main source, if your main source of water is Ghana Water Company. Okay. What I think should happen to stop this nonsense and this stupidity is to privatize the company. Okay. And also not just privatize Ghana Water Company, but then let's allow other players to come in. Okay. Currently, as it stands now, the Ghana Water Company is a monopoly. A company they provide a particular service or provide an alternative.
And it's a necessity. Exactly. And so a basic amenity and here.
Exactly. But there are a lot of water companies, not just the state-owned water company.
Okay.
What I say, the state-owned water company come in to supply when there's real emergency, like fire and answers. You see, or California and or more droughts near the other. So what I say, But then there are other companies almost provide a insurance near the other. So yeah, the air back. Inti Ghana Water Company no kono. Obi into a Son of Bayan and Yamano. And let's talk about this. Oba a studio has here. Meter and supply insure ebano.
True.
Now no you are no more a manager say manager koya insure insure na obi nipa not officer twa and a studio twice no mu use because they've closed down for almost a few months.
Okay.
Still it is reading.
Sir.
Ready.
Seven some my phone you soon
yes. And I was asking, say, how is it reading? So what I say,
Obi a mere pipe. Obi a munso. Jabane saying
ready. So what I say, now I understand, say, there is a service charge. The service charge is that even if you don't use the water, the Ghana Water Company needs to be assistant.
Maintenance.
It has workers.
Yeah.
So we need to pay people to make sure these things will be done. Yeah. So I understand. So if the service, for example, prepaid like the service charge need 8 cedis. Even if one you prepaid for a period of 1 year, calculate 8 times 12. So 8 times 12, you know, it should give you somewhere around like 96. Yeah. Within a year, no. So one so prepaid and I want so light scroll now took one now bar. You pay your prepaid 100 cedis Ghana. Yeah. Because they will accrue the service charge for all of those months. What you say? And 8 cedis per month. Now I think we say increasing it to 12 cedis. But then Ghana Water Company, I know understand. I know say was service charge or like 10 cedis or so. But then this time around, Akwani soon a ready say as will be okay. It's a service charge near 8 cedis. I say 25. So who is using the water? So this all boils down to food system. Okay. This all boils down to allowing a monopoly like Ghana Water Company to survive. And let's talk about those people who are these are people who don't know how to talk.
They don't.
Kwasiebi by a studio has a meter na swap. Exactly. Now Jimmy. Let me just hold on with her. But the way he was insulting the women here, they clearly were Jimmy. No manners. We understand the situation. Say at the end of the day, no. Oba sobe check and I'll be doing sika. But then you should also know the rules of engagement. Abroaching kwa some kwasiadi will be fioni issue company.
Of course. Nana, where the mean chawano, Madame Fubi was sphincters na. Yeah, ka say ya no omo dan no apartment 3 bobo so. Okay. Beye so ba Ghana beye September nimu. Na oba ye fit September up till January. Somewhere last year to early this year no. Na nso bi ama. And Omoko Ghana Water Company was sphincters, a year Batuna branch. Now Omoko, no, yes, you and yes, idea Omuntia Sika, Omumi and sending now Bakubiantia 3,000 Ghana cedis.
For what purpose?
Yes, here the baby child life for fraud, there 2 mamma, and until Omumi and send it Eddie or Musica by 3,000, Kamboma 9,000. Then on the mark, your friend is saying, personnel will be a was Batuna Honum. Only say up till now, gentlemen, no, they be out on so. They be our flat tank. Am I getting 3 million?
It's in no. I had then say
follow up. Last time I said, catch me say, call report to my receptionist be or your friend is saying, Ghana Water Horn say, I see me senior Bentena or this can a man no nipa necessary. I say, we na musika kwedi ninche. Meanwhile, no, they have the receipt and everything. And right now, they want to sue because one of them, no tenant never lawyer. You know, she wants to sue. And I think that this is the reality. It shows that there's some form of mismanagement via air than air coso. Now, we be an asset conform so nim kasa and as a bibi coso or no opportunity in Medina on phone in sine so and cansania, mammy air can answer ma. Not just saying conform bran or more bread. And say yes, and no, yeah, call round no Ghana Water Company conform baby once or musomuyo majuma kamapa. Almost your boy and say mom, we told mu pruse. Inti mon koswa na mon titin kofo no those who go on the field. No musia senya sebio ya kasa kasa. Esan se bi mu ho no ma homa so 24/7 bia omode nam no. Nti se ye ba betwen so nim ye ba betwen so oni omo ka de kra na omonte. It shouldn't be like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is what is happening.